Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered where exactly your code lives before you commit the code? Why Git needs something called a staging area? What is the difference between local repository and a remote repository? Most of the beginners, what they do is that they just memorize the commands, but they don't understand the Git stages. In this video, I will clearly explain what is the working directory, staging area, local repository, and the remote repository. And most importantly, why Git is designed this way. So let's begin. So the Git basically works in the four main stages. The first one is the working directory. The second one is the staging area. Third is the local repository. Then finally we have the remote repository. Now, think of it as a flow of changes moving from step by step through the different stages. Now, what we'll do is that let's understand each stage deeply. The first stage is basically a working directory. Now, this working directory is basically this is your project folder. Now, it contains the source files, test scripts, automation framework, feature file, configuration files. So, whenever you create a new file here in this stage, you can modify, delete, or make the changes here in the working directory. Okay, so in simple words, this is the place where your development happens. Now, why we need this working stage over here? So basically, we need a space. We need a space where we can experiment, we can edit, we can test our code, we can write our code, we can modify our code without affecting the project history. Now, let's talk about the second area, which is the staging area. Now, this is the most misunderstood part of the Git. Why? Because it is a temporary area which holds the files. So before moving forward, before committing something, you must select which files you want to save. Which files? So you might be working on 10 files, but you want to move or commit only 5 files where you are sure that this needs to move forward. So Git allows you to choose the specific files. So for example, from 10 files, you only move those 2 or 10 files. Okay. So basically the idea here is that if you are working on more than 5 or more files and you only showed about a couple of files, you only move those files. So this is a temporary holding area, right? Now, this stage allows selective commit. So in the real-time scenario, if I talk about the automation testing, so what happens is that you are working on the login test, you are working on the payment test, you're writing the config file. Now, assume that the payment test is not complete. So you can only move the login test from here to here and the config file, not the payment test, because you are still working on the payment test, which is not complete. So we can review those files even later on the stage. If you think that you have committed something, but you need to change, then you can easily move back to the working area, make the changes, and then move this one. Okay. Now, why this staging area is powerful? Because it gives the control. It prevents accidental commits. It allows the clean version history. It helps write meaningful commit. This is why Git is better than the older version control systems. Now let's talk about the third stage, which is a local repository. So you see that these three are the local ones over here. So when you run a command called git commit, so basically it saves a snapshot inside your system. That snapshot is stored in .git folder. Now this is called a local repository. So commit is equals to a permanent save point in your system, in your machine. Even if you delete the file, you break the file, you can recover from the commit history. You need to remember this thing. So why we need a local repository? Because It keeps the version history, it allows rollback, it enables branching, it tracks full change history. Everything is stored locally on your machine. So these three stages are basically referring to all things on your local machine. Okay. Now, where we have a fourth stage here. The fourth stage is basically this remote repo. Now, when you want to collaborate with other team members, so you need a remote repository like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. So this is a cloud platforms where you have a repo, a shared content central server. So you are committing something. So it's still here, it's a local. Now, after from here, if you move something here, which we usually call as a push, so we are moving our local code which is committed to the remote repository. So remote repository always refer to the repositories which are hosted online like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. Now your code moves from remote repo, from local repo to remote repo. So why remote repo? Because teams need to share the code. The team lead needs to review the code. We can collaborate, we can trigger the CI/CD pipelines. So without remote repository, team collaboration is impossible. Either you can give the code through the emails, through the USBs. That is not practically possible in most of the cases. So before I end this session, let me quickly summarize this one. So basically, this working directory is where we edit and write the code. This is the local on our machine. Then we have staging area. Again, this is a local one. And here we have an option to select the changes for the commit. So if we have 10 files and we want to commit only 5, so we can move only 5 over here. And then we have a local repository. Here, basically, we save the history permanently. Okay. And finally, we have this remote repositories. So basically to share and collaborate, and this is hosted on some server online. Now, why Git is designed like this? So Git actually separates the stages because of the safety, control, history, and collaboration. So when we talk about the safety, nothing is committed automatically. So you are committing the code when you're sure about committing it, right? You have the safe zone here as well, right? You have a control. If you move from here, you can go back. So you choose what to commit and what not to commit locally. So every change you make, it creates a history. So every commit is tracked. Finally, collaboration, remote makes teamwork really easy. So this architecture makes Git really powerful. Now you clearly understood the Git stages. Most people use Git daily, but very few truly understand how it works internally. In the next video, we will connect all these stages and see the full workflow in action. So if you found this helpful, subscribe for the complete Git for the QA series.